Well, here we are. It is a Rowney TV special, and we've got Tom Gandy with us, live from, I don't know, where are you these days? Where are you?
Onken. Live in Onken at the moment. At missus's parents' house. They've got a flat out the back, so here we are. King Edward Road, actually, just down from King Edward Bay.
Oh, what a fine course. I love the place. The place. Now, just for the TV side of things, I'm just going to ask you to shuffle along about half a foot to the golf bag side. We just got half your face on the screen.
Oh, right.
So that's it. That's lovely.
Oh,
fantastic. Yeah, your plum vision. So we've got quite a healthy number of viewers on our Facebook page. So please, this is your opportunity to ask Tom a few questions if you wish. But it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while, really, Tom. Because last year, well, it's the year before, isn't it? The year before. So we've had almost 12 months out of tournaments. Is that right? Just trying to remind us what's been happening.
So, 2019 was a full year, full schedule, played right the way through. Finished at Q School at the end of November 2019. So that was quite a long one, but and that's where I did quite well. I missed my tour card by one, but frustrating, whatever. But it was all right. And then started again in January. Went to South Africa last year in January, and then again in February. And then obviously in come COVID and a lot of time at home. But I did manage to get a stretch of golf July through to sort of October, November time. But it was all kind of every other week I was playing, or if I got in, it was you found out on the Tuesday or the Wednesday and you're teeing up on the Thursday. So it was all a bit. There's not been a consistent run for me for a little while, But it's what it is. There's worse things going on, isn't there?
But you did manage to play at a much higher profile, didn't you? In those events, you were playing with a completely different league, as it were. So, what were the memories from there? Really, what did you learn the most?
Loads. So, I basically played a lot of European Tour stuff, which was 2 levels up from where I was in 2019. So it was quite a quick, steep learning curve, but it was good. Loads of good memories, loads of good experience in terms of finding out where you stand, what maybe I need to get better at, what I actually you don't maybe give yourself enough credit for how good you might be at an area of the game, say. And it was all strong, quick learning curve, but it was great. Loved every minute that I got to actually compete.
Well, there's no doubt about it. The Isle of Man golfing community were sat at their desks on their keyboards, in their armchairs, following your progress step by step, and it was great fun. And we saw it ourselves in your scoring ability and how you did. That it's all there. The ingredients are there. So I think we're going to get back into the swing of things, aren't we, this year? So what's changed? What have you been thinking? What have you been doing?
So I actually learned from that I'm pretty good at standing there and hitting a golf ball. Really, iron play is a strength, and even off the tee, I'm not long, but I'm a decent length, and I'm very reliable with my driver. So I learned that, but I learned also that where I need to improve. So since I finished in November of 2020 till now, I've been working quite hard at making some technical changes with my wedges, pitching and chipping and stuff. And it's now about trying to get out on the course and actually relearn the scoring skills, sort of thing. So that's as everybody, like you say, I'm very grateful. Everybody keeps an eye on the scores and is always in touch, messaging to say well done or what the hell did you do that for? But everybody probably knows, or seems to say, or just sort them par fives out. Well, hopefully, better wedge game. Maybe we might bring that score and average there down, and maybe get up the leaderboard a few more times. I don't know.
Well, there's no doubt about it. You got the support and the belief of the Manx contingent, and we've just got a couple of questions fired in. So we'll I'll just drag them onto the screen. And first up, we've got. It's Mark Walton. Hey Tom, it's good to
Oh,
see
yeah.
you, mate. What's happened to the hair?
Trying to look like you, Mark. Trying to be Gary Barlow as well.
Well, funny you should say that because Ori Glover's following up. It is like Gary Barlow. So
No, yeah, just it's lockdown and it got a little bit bored and decided we'd give it a try. I went out. I was down south for Jay's. Had a little lad, little boy Bodie, and we were out wetting the baby's head just before we went into lockdown. And I dyed my hair, but it turned ginger, so I've gone back blonde. So I don't know. It's probably going to get shaved off soon. But nice to hear from you, Mark.
no, we love Mark. We love Mark. Keep him coming. So I noticed that there's something there in the background. It's a Mizuno golf bag. What's the tie-up? What's happened with Mizuno? That you've gone to that direction? You're on the list for them.
Yeah. So I in 2019 when I was playing Euro Pro and stuff like that, I was using my whole bag was Mizuno anyway, out of choice, not out of anything else. I mean, and then as I did well there and earned some status on the European Tour and Challenge Tour, they actually sat me down and would I like to become a contracted staff member? And I jumped at the opportunity because in my eyes, really, really great equipment. All the irons are, as you know, Jed, they're beautiful, aren't they? So it was an absolute no-brainer, and I'm very lucky, really, to have their support.
Is there any chance you could just show us what's in the bag? Which ones?
Of course.
Is that okay?
I don't know how best to do that. I don't know if I move the camera.
That's good.
We could have a bit
that's
of
good. Just rip them out like that. Yeah.
So wedges.
That's it.
Can you see them? Yeah. I can't remember what type they are, but they've been around for a little while now. This is my third or fourth set of them. Beautiful 50, 54, 58. Iron-wise, we're on the JPX 921s, which came out last year. The tall ones forged. Beautiful bit of kit, really. I was on the MP20s, which were great, but there was just a small gain with these, so I switched over.
And just tell us on those ones before, what shaft are you using?
Oh, shafts, yeah, Project X 6.5, 125 grams, I believe. So Project X 6.5, fairly basic kind of standard shaft for a tour pro, but I just find them really stable, really good, and produce a consistent kind of flight and stuff. So everything you could ask for. Yeah, and then the 2-iron is a bit of a beast, MP20 HMB with a nip-on graphite on steel sort of hybrid. It's like a steel and graphite combination, so you get the playability and performance of both, really. So that's been in for a long time, that 2-iron. And then the new woods, which I'm not sure you'll have seen much of, but literally brand new out, STZ.
All right. Just hold them up at the camera. Hold them up. What we got there? So what's that, like a 3-wood or something?
Yeah, STZ 3-wood, yeah. Set at 15 degrees, standard. Beautiful piece of kit. I'll see if you can... You probably can't... no, I won't bother.
It's not bad. The resolution's not bad, actually, but it's good to see. And if we could see the driver.
Yeah, let's see the driver. Same thing as well, STZ. Driver, what we got that at? Down to about 8.75, I think, degrees, but
okay.
Really beautiful golf club. It's the woods. I kind of got sent the heads recently at the start of the year, and obviously haven't had a chance to get over and have them fitted. So they're just in my old last year's shafts and setup. So there might be some gains to be had when I can, get down there and get tested and fitted. Sorry. So, but beautiful clubs and really grateful to have the support. Yeah.
So just tell us about the fitting. How do they do it? What was the process? How long did it take?
Yeah, well, I quite lucky there. So the tour van, Mizuno's tour van's based at a club called Bearwood Lakes down near Reading, and I'd go down there and they've got a proper setup, TrackMan, and you're on the range, but inside, but hitting out, and great. So you use the Mizuno Swing DNA, I think it's called. It's like an attachment to a shaft, and you hit several balls with it, and it gives the 3 kind of best shafts it would recommend for you based on various things. You'll have seen them around. So, I use them, and then we'll hit some balls, with each shaft. And Matt and Alex, the 2 tour reps for Mizuno, are both really knowledgeable, really, really switched on guys in the industry. So trust what they recommend and say as well. But it's also down to feel and stuff, really, what produces the most consistent. I've been there, get there for sort of 8:30, 9 in the morning. You're hitting balls, practice, for 2-3 hours, and then they'll build the clubs there in front of you on the tour van, maybe, or it's the same at events as well. They'll be there with the van and do it all there. So really, really quite lucky, to be honest.
It must be, because having fitters like that who are on tour, they're going to be dealing with professionals week in, week out, and so they'll be quite familiar. I guess they'll see the shot and they'll go, that's like such and such, and take it from there, really, having that familiarity.
Yeah, and they know a lot of the detail, the TrackMan numbers that come out, and for me, if I tried to understand all those numbers, it would be too much. It'd be confusing. You don't need to have that knowledge as a player, but really helpful that the guys doing the fitting know what to look out for there, and what could cause a problem, or what's actually really good. And like, for example, when I switched to these irons, we just found through the TrackMan that due to a slight change in the center of gravity, the strike moved slightly from the heel to more out the middle. Like, we're talking millimeters, not even millimeters, but that small gain, dispersion really tightened up, and all of a sudden, straight away, chuck them straight in the bag for that week. So it's a cool process, really.
Well, there's certainly a message for all golfers out there, isn't it? Is to get the kit that's appropriate to you. Go and see an expert who's good at fitting, and give yourself the best possible advantage. Simple. We didn't see.
Yeah, I mean, even. Yeah, sorry, Jeff.
We didn't see the magic wand, the putter. Is that available?
Yeah.
What have we got?
Yeah, it is. So we've got an even roll. Again, very lucky. They actually built me this custom ER5 center shaft.
Okay.
I don't know if you can really see it
it's
too
perfect.
well there,
That's spot on. Yeah, really good.
So the standard center shaft has a different sort of line pattern, sight line. And for me, it's very like the non-center shafted version, which I previously had. And I just find it really easy to line up with. So beautiful bit of kit. And very, very would recommend even roll putters as well. And really strong. They're the best putters on the market for if you duff it. If you miss hit it's got a sweet face as opposed to a sweet spot. So your miss hits go near enough as far as, whereas like a Scotty Cameron, if you toe or heel strike it slightly, there can be a real drop off in terms of how far the ball rolls. So they're really great clubs.
So tell us about your coaching. There must be times where you just go to someone and think, I need you to have a look at what I'm doing. What have you been doing? So I work with Charlie Simpson at Castown Golf Links. If he was watching, he'd be saying, he doesn't leave me alone. Always sending him videos, and I mean, I'm to my detriment at times, but I'm so keen to try and get better. I'm always trying to work at stuff, and I try not to do that unsupervised, really. I'd always run it by. So Charlie for my long game, I have a short game and wedge coach, Graham Roberts, who's based in the UK at Chester, Eton Golf Club, and then Duncan McCarthy as well through Underpin Sports. He's my sort of performance and psychology coach. So he's been great, trying to help deal with everything that's going on, all the uncertainties, and when am I going to tee it up and stuff. So each of those three individuals I'll give them many a headache, I'm sure, because I'm always seem to be
looking for help and looking for ways to get better. So
But
yeah, I'm
that
really grateful to have him.
the psychology is as important as the technique, isn't it?
Well, way more,
Way
I
more.
would say, so
Yeah.
much more important. Yeah, technique's one is a small part of it. There's so many human factors to playing well, I think, isn't there? And as we all know,
Yeah.
if you're not quite on it in your head, it's tough to compete. So yeah, it's a big part.
And it's good to see Charlie Simpson at Castletown
Yeah,
involved. He's a super guy, so applause for Charlie down at Langness.
yeah, he's a great lad.
Just
Really helpful.
got some more comments coming in. Holty has dialed into it. Holty, and it's on the Gary Barlow theme, and he's saying, I bet Tom can sing like him too, but we're not going to ask for a repertoire now on the Gary Barlow.
No chance.
And then more of a technical question from Gary Corlett. Are you left eye dominant? Which is your stronger eye? I don't know what that is.
Right eye dominant, I think.
Right.
I think I'm
eye.
not. Yeah, right eye dominant. Yeah, whether I don't know how that Gary might be able to tell me how that what that difference that kind of makes. I don't know.
Gary, please explain.
Yeah.
So tell me.
Happy birthday to Holty for the other week.
Yeah.
Other day.
Oh, that was
6-0,
lovely. That was lovely. I can't wait for when he's going to open up the clubhouse and
Yeah.
invite everyone round for a lovely drink and what have you.
Well, Man City will be champions again, won't they? So he'll be all smiles, won't he?
It's inevitable. It's inevitable.
Yeah, it seems it.
Yeah, and he's kept it so quiet about the sequence of Liverpool defeats as well. So he's been quite noble on that front. You've got to hand it to him.
Yeah.
So,
Good lad.
So I think you were close maybe to getting away at the moment. What's the schedule for the next month?
Yeah, so I nearly made the decision yesterday to travel to Kenya, but that was for the European Tour this week, and there is next week as well. Next week was maybe this week looked a complete long shot, and then out of nowhere I jumped way up the reserve list, and all of a sudden it was like you could travel, and but yeah, it's just a logistical nightmare really, especially with COVID. So, but it was going to be 2 weeks in Kenya. Then I'd be home to self-isolate for 2 weeks and not be able to practice. And then I'd be straight off to South Africa in mid-April for Challenge Tour out there. So I made the decision that because the Challenge Tour this year it is the most important one for me. European Tour starts are great, but I won't be playing enough of them to set up the race to Dubai ranking. So I could have travelled to Kenya, but it might have been to the detriment of my Challenge Tour stuff. So it's a case of use the next 4 weeks to prepare and get my game in shape ready for South Africa in April, providing that goes ahead.
I'm sure it will. We seem to be on the turn. Gary has dialed in again, and he's saying left eye dominance. Usually, line centre shafted putters better. Apparently, so there might
right.
be.
Okay. No. Yeah, my putting coach did mention something around the alignment of a centre shafted putter and being careful that they tend to sit open unless you are left eye dominant. Actually, so yeah, makes sense. Sorry, Gary, but no, yeah. Well, as far as I know, it seems to work all right at the moment. So.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Gary, for chipping in with that one, and all well to you up at Mount Murray. I believe it's in fantastic condition, and they've had all the bunkers redone, which is pretty smart.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I do love it.
Good.
I do love what's happening.
Probably helps with maintenance and stuff.
On the island, golf-wise, you know, the social media, the network, the family of golf clubs where you can kind of keep up to date with all the work that's been going on. Because I know at Castletown, all the bunkers have been revetted virtually, haven't they? So it's quite a challenge.
Yeah.
And all being well,
it's looking good down there.
And all being well, there's going to be a Europro event there in September.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so that got pushed back from August just to give it that extra month, extra bit of hope that the borders might finally be all right. But it's looking great down there at the moment, I must say. They're doing some work on the new short game area as well, and everything's coming along well down at Castletown. So fair play to the green staff there.
Excellent. And Gary chips in that there's a bit of a redesign going on at Mount Murray, I think, with another course with a new 18th hole. So I think the
wow.
the driving range has got repositioned and so forth. So it's a real feast, and of course the championship is going to be played at Mount Murray this year. So who's going to have their hand on the trophy?
Well, that's it. It's a tough one. I mean, there's a a high standard, isn't there, amongst the top boys? So be an interesting watch certainly. And that 18th, I don't know whether that'll make it play a bit tougher or how it'll play. It'll be interesting to see because it'll be decisive, won't it? It always is the last. So
no, we're definitely in good shape on the local golf front with competitions having high numbers, lots of people coming into the game. You'll know that the membership at Rowney has gone like through the roof. It's we've got so many ladies joined, ladies academies.
Great.
The
John Tinsley, and yourself and
Tinsley, check him out. He is fantastic. And you know what? Last night we had a Skype session where he had another coach, and it was a guy called Kendall McQuaid, and that was he was Paul McGinley's coach. And John arranges these things, and you can just jump on them, and they are fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. So big round of applause for John there.
Yeah.
So let's think about this. We'll just ask a couple more questions. Please fire any comments or anything you want to task Tom to tell you. But I'm just going to ask you, Tom, PGA, the Players' Championship at the weekend. What was your take on that? It was a real adventure, wasn't it, Sunday?
Yeah, well, do you know what? I didn't actually watch that much of it on Sunday. I watched quite a bit of the Arnold Palmer the week before, and just for whatever reason, Mother's Day, wasn't it, on Sunday? So it was a bit busy, so I didn't get a chance to watch much of it. But I've seen some bits, and how good's Westwood? He's still a fantastic golfer and just usually ball striking, but his whole game is just so consistent. And at 47, nearly 48 years of age, he's still sticking it to him, isn't he? Really, and he looked like a few Ryder Cups ago, maybe he might have played his last Ryder Cup, but he's got to be one of the first names on the list now. And fair play, but Justin Thomas just was flawless, wasn't he?
Incredible.
Tee to green.
Incredible.
Fair play.
What's your view on putting on a few pounds and doing the weights and smashing it as hard as you can? I mean, he's done so much for the viewers, hasn't he, Bryson? You can't help but watch him.
No, you can't. And that, like I said, the week before, the Arnold Palmer off 6 there, the par 5, and that's quite iconic, really. What happened? Quite, it'll stick with you for a while. But fair play to him. It's be lying if I didn't say I wasn't trying to increase my speed and stuff by sticking on pounds. You'll probably all know that I've always struggled with maybe a few too many pounds, but so I'm in the gym a lot and I'm doing some speed training, but as I sort of alluded to at the start, there's areas like the wedge game and stuff where I can make some bigger gains than maybe hitting it 10 yards further, but certainly the game is moving that way, so you got to try keep with it. If you stand still, you're going to be further away. So but yeah, fair play to him. He's really, well, I think I saw an article that he's box office, and he is, isn't he? Good on him.
Absolutely. So, Tom, we'll just bid you farewell. Thank you so much for helping us out today for lockdown mania. We can kind of live the dream as we're playing in our solo games on the course, but it really is wonderful. The Isle of Man loves you to bits and supports you through and through, and it is great that we've got you to follow onto our very own Tom Gandy. So we'll say goodbye. Thank you very much. Jed.
Top man. No, thank you. Thanks everybody for the support as well. I really does make a difference. Massively appreciate it. So thank you everyone. Take care.